7:14 on a Friday. Add that to Bob being at mic number 2.
There you go. That's how you know it's Friday. You don't even have to look at your calendar. You know it's Friday when Bob shows up.
Well, I don't know. Last time we talked to a senator.
That's true. We talked to a senator. That's right.
I enjoyed our discussion with Senator Bozeman.
It is. It's always good that he takes his time from his busy schedule and he's open to questions and comments and suggestions, and that's,
And he gets so riled up.
He is pretty excitable. Yeah, you're right, Dale. You have to tread lightly with him. We were we had the Marion County Republican meeting yesterday. We were talking about, which isn't actually that far away, Turkey Trot, which should be coming up, and how he always sends, if he doesn't come, somebody comes, in his place, and just to be there, just to have a presence there and show his support for the community, and it's a great thing. And it doesn't matter. He's a Republican senator, but he's the senator for all of the people. And it's one of the things that we're also very fortunate in, that the partisan politics doesn't play as much in that respect. Our senators, our congressmen, they're there to do the right thing, and that's very important.
I'm impressed, with Governor Hutchinson, and then, of course, when we hear from Senator Cotton and from Senator Bozeman. When I answered the phone, Chris, we wait for the break to pick up the phone. And he says, this is John Bozeman. And I introduced him. Oh, yeah. And I said, well, Bob Zdora. Oh, yeah, Marion. Yeah. So here's this senator who deals with worldwide issues with.
Who's calling you himself. You got to get through 3 people to get through to.
and when Asa calls in, Dale, this Asa, it's not, this is Governor Hutchinson, Dale, this Asa.
You're going to talk to 4 more people before you can get to me.
But the memory that these gentlemen have.
Yeah.
With the jobs. I mean, look at the governor. How many people does he talk to every day? But yet he remembers Mountain Talk Radio, Mountain Home, or wherever he's calling in, maybe Northeast.
And he remembers Baxter County.
Sure.
These guys know, especially this Northwest Ark and this Ozarks area, because it is a unique area of the state. It's a whole different environment politically and economically, weather, the beauty of it, the topography of it. It is a different, and they do know that. They enjoy coming up.
Oh yeah,
going. Oh yeah, talk to Rick Crawford or anybody.
Yeah,
It's a good place to be. Good place to be.
So how's things at Century 21?
Century 21 is doing just swimmingly, thank you. I have actually. Did you bring that up? That wasn't even a setup piece.
Wow.
But I have in spite of ourselves. For up to July 31st, the totals of business being conducted, and Century 21 is in first place with 22.8% of the business, 143 listings sold, 127 buyers came through us. We did 270 sides for the first 7 months of the year. The next closest company is at 19.6%. The next one after that is at 13. The next one's at 10. And then after that, they're all in single digits going down. So you got the top 4 companies are really doing the vast majority of the business. And of those, we are far and away the number 1 company. And that's a testament to...
23.8 or 22.8?
22.8.
23% of the business.
Yep. For $32 million, almost just short of $33 million. And the next company has 28. The next is 19, 14. So the quality of the business that Century 21 runs, probably the best way to put that. There's no shenanigans. There's no trying to muscle people into buying things or muscle people into selling things. This is what the market is. This is what you're going to get for the house. This is what you can buy this house for. And that's part of it too. You have to be realistic with what house you can actually purchase. If you have $150,000 that you're comfortable with spending, you've been to the bank and the bank is good with you spending $150,000, you probably shouldn't be looking at houses that are 190 because you're going to find something there, and then you're going to try to put in offers at 140, thinking that they should take it because you want the house. that's not what that house is worth. You have to be realistic with where your finances are and what type of home you should be looking at. If 150 is your price point, if you're looking at stuff 159, 160, you're going to negotiate some back and forth. That's one thing. But to be tens of thousands of dollars off and think that you should be able to get it because you want it isn't necessarily, in the vast majority of cases, going to be the.
Isn't that what happened though in the last 10 years though, where somebody said, "Well, I've got $150,000," they get a $350,000 home, find out, "Oops, we can't handle this."
Right.
They get upside down.
Exactly, and that's why it's so important to go to the bank and get pre-approved and know what it is you can afford, and be realistic with what it is you can afford. And your agent should be doing that for you as well. That's why we send you to the bank. I don't care about your money. We don't get into people's money. We don't get into their finances. If you have a bank, we tell you to go to your bank. If you don't have a bank, you're looking for suggestions. We got a couple banks that we work with, and we do great with those banks. Local banks, local banks, local banks. As a result of that, we're going to show you homes that you can afford. Not necessarily homes that you may want, because there's a difference, and or if people say, "Well, I only want to spend 150, I could buy something up to 2, but I only want to spend 150." We're going to show you homes up to 150 until you tell me this is what I like. I'll spend more, and then we'll move up. But I'm not going to take you into something that's 200 if you want to spend 150, because the chances of getting that deal together are really pretty slim. And it's not fair to you. It's not fair to the seller, when you bring them in, we have to present all offers, and we bring an offer that's 25% below what the market says the house is worth. Well, then they get a little antsy too, and because then you get people that don't just say no, but then it becomes hell no, and then it becomes personal instead of the business end of it. We try to get people to counter if an offer is so off the wall as to be ridiculous. Then we'll counter it something ridiculous. We'll counter it $3 million.
So how do you handle, for instance, if somebody has champagne taste with a beer budget?
Well, you just try to show them. You show them what they can afford, and because that's how we ended up in this mess that we're in. People buying houses that they couldn't afford, they couldn't keep the maintenance up on them, and they're sitting on milk crates, watching an old 12-inch black and white TV in their living room because they're so house poor. And there's that actual term of being house poor, that's not a good thing. It's not good for you. And it's really my job as a realtor, as being the professional that we are, is to show you this is what you can afford. Now, if you need to rent for another year before you can look at this and save some more money, that's up to you. That's you and your finances and your job and whatever student debt you may have. There's a lot of factors that go into this that we don't really think about. Even doctors come in. Doctors come in with big student debt as well. And the banks may go out of their way to try to help them because they know that they're going to be working at the hospital. Sure. They know that they have a lot more upside than downside. But still, there's still only so much that they can afford because they're paying back these loans. And the kids that are nurses and auto mechanics, whatever it may be, if they're going to school, that money's got to, it has to be paid back. So that does fit into the equation.
Then when you got a house that somebody's ready to sell and you've got some sentimental value in there, I mean, if I decide to pack up and move today, I can pack my toys and go. Yeah, the memories may be in one house for 25 years, but I've got the pictures, the videos, and all of that.
You're going to put the Gretsch in the case, and you're going to throw it in the back of the car, and you're on your way.
Put it,
right. And there's a difference. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. and that's a big part of it, though, is to make that jump between your home and your house. And when you can separate the two, the faster you can separate the two, the happier you're going to be as far as selling what is now your house. And so you can go into your next home. And we helped 2 people do that this week, and we're ecstatic that we were able to help them move on to the next phase of their life. And we've got a closing today.
Fun to see their excitement, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yes, it is. And actually the one today, we're helping to close out an estate that has been kind of laying out there for a while, and everybody wants to just kind of close that chapter of their life and move on. And we're going to make that happen this afternoon. So it's a big part of our business is holding hands, not our hands, holding your hand and saying, okay, look, this is what we can do. This is where we are. This is what can happen.
Grab a hold, follow me.
To get people, yeah. And that's, this is what we do. We don't need to keep reinventing the wheel on every deal. We've got a pretty good grasp. I mean, there's things that come up. There's no question. There's things that come up. And you go, oh, my God, what happened there? But in general, once the process starts and everybody's realistic in what they can afford and realistic in what the price should be to sell, things move forward and life is good. We've helped a number of people, a goodly number of people, buy and sell homes, and that's
what it's all about.
That's the deal. It really is.
Wow.
That is the deal. So, but I thought that it was interesting that from the last time I read this, that we're at that 22.8% of the market. That's a pretty big number in a market this size.
That's almost 1/4 of the market. Almost.
And it's going up. We'd probably, Linda and I think we figured we'd be number 8 in just us. We'd be number 8 for companies here in our MLS. So.
But
we thank everyone for that. We thank the agents. We thank our buyers, our sellers, the people that have entrusted us with that, most precious article, their home and their future, and getting them through the difficulties involved with that part of their future. So
you imagine if Hardee's across the street had just 25% of the restaurant business in Mountain Home, they'd be jumping for joy.
Oh, you kidding?
Yeah.
If they had 15, they'd probably be ecstatic. Yeah. Yeah. This week in real estate, there were 87 new listings came up. There's 40 parcels of land. A couple subdivisions came up this week. 2 commercial properties came on. 45 homes came on the market. They came on a range of $29,000 to $450,000. The average price coming in the market this week is $157,000. There were 24 sales. 4 parcels of land sold, a commercial property. 19 homes sold. They'd sold in a range of $18,000 to $515,000. The average sale price this week was $144,000. The average listed price when those homes came on the market, when they came on the market for this listing, because a lot of these come back over and over again, was $156,000. 161 days on market. We're at $2.7 million closed this week, so not bad. Still not bad. We were at like 3.1 I think last week, but that's okay. 22 properties expired. 51 had price changes. It was up a little bit. There's 70 pendings, and there's actually more than that because not everything makes it to pending. They have a tendency to stay active contingent until you get to closing now. There's 1,014 homes on the MLS. So, like I say, even though 45 came on the market, and 20 sold. It's actually 25. So a lot of those were relists because we're actually down. Last week the number was 1,018 homes. This week we're down to 1,014 homes. 477 in Mountain Home, 58 in Bolt Shoals, 29 in Norfolk, 11 in Cotter. For 2014, there were 512 sales year to date. 512 sales for $60.5 million. This year, for 2015, there's been 546 sales for $66.4 million. So we're up just about $6 million over last year. And last year we were $5 million for the whole year. So we're already at 6, and we're going forward. And there's a lot of stuff that's in the pipeline to close both this month and next month. So that's a pretty big number, I think. We want that steady rise. We don't want that meteoric rise,
you don't want
which
the
is
spike.
We don't.
Good, steady, slow growth.
Right, because we're stuck with other markets. We have to deal with some of these markets are going just great guns. Can't find enough houses in them to sell them all. That's not the case here because we're like a secondary market. People, we're not Chicago, Dallas.
Real quick, phone number, location.
Phone number is 870-405-0793. Give my honey a call. And she keeps the book as far as where we're supposed to be and when, so you got to deal with her anyway. And we're at the main office across from McDonald's. Just come in and ask for the Z team. And if we're not there, they'll find us.
Time for the news. We'll be right back.